Welcome to Fashionably Spiritual, a space for modern, soul-led conversations and high-frequency living for the ever-evolving and empowered self. Host Nancy Muratalla is a dedicated international spiritual medium, healer, and mentor. Nancy is passionate about using her abilities to not only support others in their healing journey, but also to teach them how to connect with their inner spiritual selves. Host Jennifer Rose is an international spiritual medium, healer, channeler, mentor, and spiritual guide. She encourages others to live a purposeful and empowered life through the Know Thyself journey, conscious living, and the power of unconditional love. Full of candor, soulful insight, and feminine fierce, Fashionably Spiritual shines to guide you on your soul's journey of aligning and elevating, all while finding inspiration for your own unique spiritual expression and personal energetic style. Now, here are your hosts, Jennifer Rose and Nancy Muratalla.
Hello. Happy Friday, everyone. Hello, Jennifer. How are you today?
I'm doing well, thank you. We're here at our new day and new time. So welcome, everybody. It's a little bit of Friday night fun here today. So we stayed up for you, everybody.
We got lots of energy. We are raring to go.
Well, that's our topic, so I hope so.
It's only 1,000,000 degrees here in Southern California right now. Like, it is definitely already feeling like summer. Would you not agree?
It is, and I'm quite happy about it. So, although I did have to turn the air on, it was awful hot today in the house. So yeah, I had to turn the air on, which means I'm going to have a high electric bill too. So
I know.
So,
That's the problem when it gets hot too early, because we have probably 2 solid months where it's unbearable and you have to use your AC. And that would probably be the months of July and August.
yeah, that's really hard. I'm trying to, sorry about that. I'm trying to send something out here there we go. Got it. Okay.
And I can see
All
the
right, my
comments
friend.
now, so we're good to
Okay,
go.
good. Yes, Jennifer McCormick is here.
Hello.
Hello, Jennifer. Good to see you, love. Thank you for doing the hashtag live. It's going to help people remember us. We're here. Hello, me and my shadow. Good to see you, darling. Thank you for joining us. And thank you for the love, Jennifer, too. And Miss Vivian stayed up for us as well. Aloha, Miss Vivian. Good to see you, darling.
There's different time frames on the island, because aren't they in Hawaii? I know some places like Hawaii is 3 hours behind us.
Right. Oh, so I was thinking it might be later for Vivian, but maybe it's earlier.
I think it's earlier. I think
you're right.
I think it's one time.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
Because when we go east, we go later. So when we go west, we go earlier. So
Yes.
There we go. So
her
maybe
Friday is just
it's just getting
going.
started.
That's right.
All right. I got my time all. We're going to figure it out there too. Crystal's here as well.
Jennifer McCormick, you definitely stayed up for us. So thank you.
Yes, she did. Yes. It's 2:30 a.m.
That is crazy. When do you sleep, girl?
She's got kids. She doesn't sleep. So we don't do that. That's what coffee is for.
Oh my
Thank you, Vivian.
Oh, Miss Crystal. Yes, you are Central Time.
Yeah.
So you're entering the hour of getting a little bit tired, or your night's just getting started. Really, it just depends on your frame of mind. You know what you got going on today, right?
If you get a little cat nap, you're good to go till midnight. So it's almost 4 for Vivian. So it's early.
It's early. I wish I could do cat naps. I can't take little naps during the day. I can't, what do we call them? Power naps.
I love them. Yeah.
I can't.
There's a trick. There's a trick I have, because you could nap too long and then be really groggy, and then you've lost like a couple hours, and then it's really hard to get back in your game. But if you drink some coffee right before you take a nap, then you won't sleep too long. So you'll just get a little bit and you'll wake up all like, woohoo, ready to go.
Oh,
that's my secret.
Wow.
I know. Hi, Lynn Juno.
And do you have to fall asleep before the coffee actually kicks in, though?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah.
I got you.
But then
try
you're
that.
only going to sleep like 10, 20 minutes and you'll be good. So, but yeah, power naps are the best. So, Crystal's in Central Time is 8:41 in Texas. I call it Texas time, Crystal, even though Central Time is many states. I just call it Texas time. It takes up a whole lot of the Central Time. So
Vivian says, but I stayed awake.
Yes, she did. Hello, MC. How you doing? We've got one man here tonight. So,
all right.
hello.
Where's the rest of the men, Michael? Go bring them. Go get them. Go rally them up.
Speaking of them, Michael Christopher will be back next week with Spiritually Imperfect with Jennifer Lee. So we're looking forward to seeing you back again on the schedule. I know you guys took a little bit of a break, and so we're happy that you'll be returning again. It's been lonely without you, Michael and Jennifer.
Yes, it has.
We love not the same.
We love hearing all of your antics. We love it. We love watching
shenanigans.
That too, yes.
What would the world be like without shenanigans? We're getting too old to behave perfectly all the time. See. I was right, Jennifer. Lots of coffee.
I agree with that. That's for certain.
And
hopefully everybody's been having a fantastic week. Hopefully you have some fun plans this weekend. Is anybody doing anything exciting that they want to share? Let us know in the comments.
Michael's doing shenanigans.
Yes, I don't think that ever ends with him. Your poor wife. She's either right there with you or she's just like, oh my gosh.
Or maybe both.
Or a little bit of both. That's right.
Oh my gosh. All right. So we're supposed to talk about energy tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to talk about energy and intuition, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Let's do it. If anyone has questions or wants to add to the conversation, please do that as well too. How do you put up with me?
Oh,
that's
good
love.
For you, Crystal. Garage sales are fun. I love that.
Yeah.
I haven't done one in a long time, but I do enjoy doing them when I had the opportunity to do them.
Oh,
they're so much fun.
I love that.
Yeah, we used to do like big community ones. So like everybody was out there and it was like a little huge block party. It was so much fun.
That does sound like fun too. And you get rid of stuff, you make a little bit of money. She's going to do donation readings too. I like the plan here. It's very creative. So well done. King Kamahi Mahi Day. Tell us more, Vivian.
Oh, I've heard of that.
That sounds important.
Not sure what it is.
Forgive me. I don't know. Yeah, me neither. So share more with us, Miss Vivian. Too.
I don't think I know they do something like with the horses, but I don't know that surrounds that celebration. But I've heard of that where they put like these big, beautiful leis on the horses and it's a big celebration. Ooh. So that sounds really nice.
That does sound lovely. Yes. He's having trouble living with himself. How she does it. You're a good husband, Michael. If you can put that.
Oh, Malibu. Lynn's going to Malibu.
That's me, Lynn. Edgy me, coffee in and out. It is a little edgy because if you don't time it right, then you don't get your nap. So that's true. But Vivian was saying it actually does work. So there we go. Malibu. James and I are going to Malibu to visit Maggie, the medium, and her husband. Oh, how cool. Maggie, blonde hair. Yeah.
Oh, Maggie.
Yeah, she was there when we had her in-person dem.
Yeah.
Forgive me. Hello. Her last name is escaping me in the moment, but we know who you're talking about. Give her our love.
Beautiful. I haven't been there in a really long time, but it's absolutely gorgeous there.
Yeah.
So maybe definitely. I need to go. Maybe I need to go visit Maggie the medium, or we do.
I think I could do some Malibu.
I could do some Malibu too. Have a little bit of Malibu rum with it. I could totally.
I got Malibu Barbie on the brain now. I'm going to wear a pink dress or something. Yes, she's one part of me. She wants to come out. She gets to. So there we go.
Oh my God, that's fantastic.
I think you were right, Nancy, with what you were thinking. 36 years, Michael Christopher. Congratulations, my friend. Nancy's got you beat by 3, but you're getting there. Well done,
Pretty
though. I'm
close.
so happy.
I'm sure
I'm
you're
very
just as
happy.
exhausted as I am. I mean,
I'm so
elated.
in a good way. Both. It's okay. I'm so happy for you. Congratulations.
In a great way.
Okay.
So let's talk a little bit about, like, this is going to be what Energy Intuition 101. So let's talk a little bit about energy. You know, like when you walk into a restaurant, like you feel into the energy, and like, have you had a situation, which I'm sure we all have, where the waitress is walking you to a certain table or booth, and that just doesn't feel right, right? And you're like, can I come over here? Or if you're at Starbucks or where you can seat yourself, you know, you feel connected, you feel the energy of where you want to go. That is one of the most simple definitions of kind of feeling into the energy of where you feel most comfortable and where you're feeling guided to go. Would you not agree, Jennifer?
I do agree, and I'm also thinking how frustrated I get when we get sat at a like a really small table, but there's like a bunch of empty booths available, and we go, "Hey, can we sit over there?" "Oh no, those are reserved," and then no one ends up sitting there.
I know.
I'm like, I don't know about that.
They don't
But
they don't care about our feng shui or where we're feeling guided to go.
I know
It's like, nope, you're sitting over here.
it's like just don't lie to me. Just say no and don't lie to me and tell me the reserved one.
Yeah, exactly.
I get a whole frustrated with that. But yeah, you can walk into a space and maybe feel if there's been an argument or something that's taken place and things like that. So that's definitely a thing too. What might be beneficial is if we can prep ourselves in a way that hopefully maybe and I don't always remember to do this, but I know this is a good way to do this, to prep ourselves in a way that we're in our biggest energy, so that instead of it affecting us, we're actually affecting it in a positive way. So we're actually making the energy of that space better. It just takes some some mental intention before, and some just kind of working up to that too. And so I think, if we're in a really good mood and our energy is high, and maybe we've had a great day, we're just feeling great mojo, and we walk into a space, it's hopefully not going to bother us that much. But then on days where we feel more vulnerable, it may, we may just be more sensitive to it. Our nervous system's a little already kind of heightened. It's already not, we're not in our full rest and relaxation response. So it's something to think about too, like other components to pay attention to too. But it certainly doesn't hurt to follow your instincts of where you feel comfortable as well too. And, we're women also, so that's a thing. And so we want to be in a space where we're going to feel safe as well too.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, everything carries energy, people, places, situations. And, you're right, Jennifer, number one, we could feel guided in the way where, no, we don't want to go in that direction, but we can also switch the energy up, in a situation where maybe there's a lot of anxiety, like you said, maybe an argument just happened, we can almost kind of set our intention where we're kind of silently even giving, calming and loving energy out, and actually switch up, the feeling of the room or the place or even the person that you might be having a conversation with, even in the tone of your voice. When you're speaking to somebody who's anxious and, maybe having a really bad day, and just kind of having like a calmer voice kind of help settle the nervous system down a little bit, get them a little bit more regulated too.
Yeah. So, this is when we're getting into energy mastery, where we're actually thinking affect the space versus let it affect us. But that takes work. It takes practice. We have to be mindful on days where we just feel more vulnerable. So then we have to allow ourselves the space to make adjustments too. But it also means taking care of our physical health. making sure we're taking time to meditate and keep our power stores up, making sure we're finding a balance of mind, body, and spirit. All of that's important too. And another thing too is we have to learn to also understand how with energy too. Sometimes we can feel like it's affecting us, but what we're unconsciously doing is actually reaching out and touching it. So we're putting out little energetic feelers, and anybody who considers himself an empath, most likely 99% learned how as a child to put feelers out into the space so that you can decide where you're safe or not too, because you're feeling so much, it gets so intense. And so then a lot of times we can innocently mistake energy. Somebody sent us bad energy, like they did it to us, when we actually just were actually reaching out and touching it and felt it and experienced it. And it really wasn't anybody's fault. It's just what happened. And so what we had was an experience of information. And the question is how do we perceive that information? How do we judge that information? And then what do we do with it too?
Yeah. I think that crosses over, which we'll kind of get into a little bit of that too. I think the energy and the intuition cross over a little bit as well. We're picking up the energy of the person or the room or the situation. And you're right. Sometimes, Jennifer, I do feel like we might come in with a frame of mind of maybe there's a certain expectation that we think should be there, and maybe it doesn't feel that way. So we could also change it up as well by, feeling a certain way and kind of protruding out, maybe some negative vibes as well for the other person. I do think there is a crossover between, the difference between like the energy that you're picking up. And I just want to mention the comment from Angelo.
Yeah.
I went to an intuition class. The lady who sat next to me had a heavy, dark energy, immediately had to get up and leave. I totally get that as well. Like, you don't have to try to change the situation either. Which kind of sometimes goes into, there are certain people that you might just not mesh with. It may not feel right for you, and you're going to know it like immediately, which kind of goes into the little bit of the intuition realm as well, like a feeling that you're getting, even a body sensation, any of that. Like, no, that's not for me. And that's perfectly okay too. Like, you have free will to make that decision to be around, a situation or person, because there are energy vampires that also suck us dry, that maybe we don't have our full gear on that we're ready for that day, right?
Well, what I'd like to offer is that now, when it comes to intuition classes, there generally isn't that many men who show up. It's mostly women who come to these, and women tend to want to sit next to the only man in the room because he has grounded energy, and women tend to be a bit ungrounded. We're in our higher chakras a lot, and it is our responsibility as women to learn to ground. Just like men can take the responsibility to also learn to use their higher awareness and their heart-centeredness as well too. So that dark, heavy energy could have been she was very depressed, she was very sad, and she was coming in somehow to feel better. Now it's not Angelo's responsibility to make her feel better. All I'm doing is adding some other facets of what possibly, potentially could have been going on there as well too. So what we would like to, so while we are learning to master our energy, we have to do what keeps us feeling safe and comfortable as we go along. We would hopefully want to get to the point where it doesn't bother us as much or at all, mostly, unless we're going through like a really challenging time. That's maybe we're under a lot of work stress, and that's draining some of our reserves and things like that, to where we feel confident in our power to know that no matter where we go, we're fine. Because if we look at energy as information, it can't hurt us. It's how we perceive it. It's what our belief system says, and then how we react to it based on our beliefs, but also based on memory too. And so we have to retrain our nervous system to understand that it's safe. And that takes time and practice. So it's not an overnight. So in the meantime, we absolutely need to do what keeps us feeling safe and in harmony for ourselves. And it isn't our responsibility. Other people isn't our responsibility too. I do use caution with the vampire word because yes, that can happen. People can be needy. And in the neediness, they pull energetically. They can pull. But someone like, their spouse could have just died. Of course they're going to be needy. And so we want to be careful with the term and how we're using it. And I do understand that people may just be irresponsible with their energy in general. And that's why they're that way. They're irresponsible and manipulative, and that's why they're that way. And we definitely want to make good decisions and have good discernment. But ultimately, in the process of understanding our energy and becoming empowered in it, we can be so full that nothing gets to us. So it's like we need to learn to remember our bigness, to keep our energy big. And so what helps us is a lot of people, what they do when they go into places where they feel vulnerable, insecure, overwhelmed by all the stimulus, because there's a lot of stimulus in the airwaves right now, and we're all feeling it. And when we're in that space, the inclination is to go like this, to shrink your energy, thinking that you're hiding from it or you're getting away from it. That's actually the opposite. So what we want to learn to do is push your energy out. Now, probably everybody here can do that because you've been studying spirituality, you're psychic, you're medium, you're healing. And so you should have enough of an ability to feel and sense your own energy to learn how to push it out, and then just keep practicing it. If you make your energy big, then your perimeter is way out here versus way out here. Does that make sense too? Mm-hmm. And so it's a mindset and an attention, and it changes the dynamic of what's happening. Absolutely, we can be an absorber without realizing it. That is something that we can do, but we've practiced doing that. So there is an internal belief system that says that we're responsible. So there's kind of like some psychological codependency things that's happening. We've learned to take other people's stuff to feel safe, to keep the environment safe. And so now we have to retrain our mind and our nervous system. We're not in that space anymore. We don't have to do that for survival anymore. We can do it differently now. And it just takes practice, time, and patience and grace as well too.
Yeah.
I'll stop there.
Yeah, no, I feel like that falls very much in line with Mish's question. Can we be energy absorbers without releasing it? Absolutely.
Realizing it. Yeah, that's what I was just saying. Yeah, that's what I was just speaking to. Yeah,
it takes practice.
To learn that we don't need to do that as well too. At the end of the day, everything is going to be connected. We're not truly separate. We're experiencing or perceiving ourselves to have this auric field, and that's like a closed system, but it's really not. We're not a completely shut off closed system. Everything's connected to everything all the time. And that's the higher lens of looking at things. So then it just amounts of what is your frequency that's connected to all these other frequencies doing in respect to all of the connections that are with you too. And so that's what we need to learn to manage. You manage your frequency as it's projecting outwards for the good, for call it your self-protection. I use that in a way that is empowering, not disempowering, because it's not about the outside is more powerful than me, so I need to protect myself. It's no, I have full responsibility of my energy. I know what I am and who I am, and so my protection is in my own management and my knowing of me and who I am and my own power, and not perceiving the outside as weaker. So then the question is, when did we decide that people and outside circumstances were more powerful than us energetically. That's just a belief. It's not true.
Yeah. I mean,
I just,
the opposite side of it is, people can uplift us. We might be the one having the bad day. We might be the one that maybe just lost a loved one. So
exactly.
I think as a collective, like, we're so connected. We're so spiritually connected with one another, humanly connected with one another. It's like a domino effect. But you're right. We do need to know, what makes it, like, you have this going on, I have this going on. One is not better than the other. But if we could also take that into consideration, I'm not saying don't protect yourself or respond in a way that's best for you. But if we can take into consideration, even when you're driving and somebody's driving too slow in front of you. I mean, granted, it's against the law not to go the speed limit, but somebody's driving a little bit slower and, depending on where you live in New York or California, Los Angeles, you want to put your hand on the horn. What are you doing? Come on, snap out of it.
I mean, yeah, that person could be crying in front of you and you don't know like what's going on there. Or they're just an older person. Yeah, that's really hard to do too. And so, but you pointed out something good. We spend a lot of time worrying about what other people's energy is, and we don't think about our own energy. What are we bringing in? Like, are we aware that when we're really stressed out and we walk into a place, we're bringing in stress energy, right? And it's not a bad thing. It's just the awareness of it too, that we all have it. And it's like, we're all friends. We've held the bucket for each other. We've been the one who's been needy, and we've been the one who's been more giving and things like that. And it's like, we're not abandoning each other because of energy. We're just loving each other because we're in the space of love. So we're not even perceiving it that way too. It's just about love too. So, that said, take care of yourself, do what you have to do on a given day based on where you're at and how you're feeling too.
Agree.
Ed said a great thing. Hi, Ed. I'm glad you're here. We finally got you where you can be here. Like, he's always stopping by to say hello, but he works, and so I think it's after hours, so he could join us. So
we got another man. Yay.
Yes. A spiritual boost is not a bad thing from a universal family. Exactly. Yeah. And energy is not a limited resource, at least when it comes to our spiritual energy. Like, we can always meditate and sit in the power with spirit. That helps quite a bit. Now, it is a limited resource physically, because once we physically die and move on to spirit world, our body has run out of ATP. That's just that. But that's different. That's a slightly different. But if we take care of our physical, we're going to have more spiritual energy too. We're going to have more mojo. So that's a good thing. 11:33. Love that, Mish.
Agree. And I love Kim told Mish, I'll help you read the room.
I like that.
Said like a New Yorker. I love it.
I know. We got this together. Queen badasses. I like that.
But if you think about it, like, even the energy of where you live, the energy of living in a big city, the rushing around of people trying to catch a cab, taxis, like, that is intense energy versus living in the countryside where things are calmer and slower. So, like, even choosing where you live is a really conscious effort of what you want the energy to feel like.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely true. Yeah. And then sometimes we need to carve out space for things to be more quiet too. And it's like, I am very aware now, my home is pretty quiet where I am. My neighborhood's pretty quiet, but I'm very aware that the what I'll just call the airwaves are packed full of information right now. And it's a lot to be tuned into that. and we can't tune it out. We don't really want to, because then we're shutting off our connection. But it's just about balance. It's just about balance. So I find like I need to just turn off my music, sit in the quiet, get off of the electronics, just take a few minutes, just sit in the quiet, go outside, feel the sun on my face, rebalance. Yeah, all of that. It helps a lot. 200 acres. Beautiful.
Yeah, that sounds beautiful, Mish.
Yeah.
And
that does sound like bliss.
It does. Speaking of partners too, it's kind of like, how do I want to say this? You clearly have different personalities, and, some could be more introverted, some could be an extrovert and have all this high energy. Like, how do you balance, your partner that you've chosen as well? I think that is also something you got to figure out as well, because, if you're super calm and that your spouse or your significant other is not a very calm person, like, you're going to have to figure out that little dance of how that's going to work for you as well.
Yeah, absolutely will too. And you and your partners become very psychically connected, and we're, a lot of quantum entanglement things going on there too. And that's a thing, and it's nothing that you need to change. It's just to be aware of it too. So then you realize that you do each share a co-responsibility to each other to kind of take care of yourselves and help take care of the other person the best that you can, and find, one day it might be 80-20, and then the other day it's 10, you find your way to where you're each giving as much as you can to keep the balance. But you're right, that's the dance too. We have some new friends here. We have Joseph. We got another guy here today. Hi, Joseph. Great to see you. K-Weezy has joined us as well. I'm glad you found us as well too. Kim Princess is here. And she does feel like she's in the twilight zone in her neighborhood, so she wants to move and get a quieter space too.
Yes.
And Christy Wilson has joined us.
I can feel like Kim, I was born in New York and I wasn't there for very long, but the imprint of living in the city like that has never left me. Like, I picture and can feel like the environment that you live in, and it's a lot. A lot of moving around.
It's a lot. So yeah, do a lot of grounding, do whatever you need to do just to help like maintain you and so forth too. Michael said something really funny. My wife was a daycare provider for 20 years. She tells me like that.
Now, you know what?
That's not uncommon.
No, that's the perfect match for you, because she's got so much patience and she's loving and she can redirect you very lovingly.
That's too funny. I know it's Joe from Zoom. I know, yes. Joseph, we're happy you're here. We recognize you, love.
Yes, we do.
That's too funny too. And I'm in Queens. It's half suburb, half city. That's interesting. Yeah. And Vivian's saying, come to Hawaii. Yeah. That's the answer. We all just need to go to Hawaii and it'll all be different.
No rushing around there. That's for certain.
Exactly. The aloha spirit.
The only rushing that you do is to get to your beach chair. get those toes in the sand.
That just doesn't sound bad, but I just love what I do. You know me, I work like all the time, but something about that sounds quite tempting. It's a good thing. I love being a medium and all of these things that I do. It's a really good thing.
Yes. Yeah. I used to live at the beach versus, in the city, and it does feel, however, the beaches here I'm not going to lie, they are like little party towns. But during the winter time, it definitely has a very serene feel to it. And you do feel like you're off in your lone little island when you live in the beach areas. I literally there was houses in front of the ocean, and we were just right behind that. So like we could hear the ocean every night when we went to bed, and that was a whole nother thing. It was so incredibly peaceful. So
I love that. Totally.
Stayed.
I remember one of the places I lived a few places ago, uh, it was in a area where they were constructing, and so for about a year I had an ocean view, and then I lost it
Oh,
because
and
of
then they
construction.
built.
I was like, no. And then there was just this little sliver. You had to look out this one window
Oh,
from the
no.
top of the stairs, and you had this little sliver, and that's
Oh, that sucks.
it's really hard to have something and then lose it. Yeah, like that too. So, but yeah, so
You have
I
to
try to
put
get
things
some.
up everywhere and ruin all.
Yeah,
It's all location, and what you're willing to
that's
pay
true.
for what view you're going to get.
This is true. This is true too. So,
That's incredible.
I wanted to share something with you all that I use in my a class that I've taught in the past, which I haven't taught it in ages, but I'll get it back one of these days. But when it comes to going into a space, and I think we've had this discussion before on Fashionably Spiritual, but it doesn't hurt to revisit it. You know, you go into space like a big store, you know, like a Walmart or something like that too. Like that seems to be the one that people think of when they talk about overstimulating, that they don't want to walk into. And it's like, and it is quite stimulating for sure. The fluorescent lights, the large size of the place, so many people, so much happening, so much going on, things like that too. But even in a smaller place where you're just feeling insecure because it's new, that's normal to feel that way. It's not wrong, right? But it's just about what you do before you walk in. So back a long day ago before COVID, and I started doing everything online, when I would do in-person classes, I would say, who here was feeling nervous before they walked into class? You know, and a couple of people raised their hands and we volunteer. And so we go outside and I say, okay, now I want you to walk in just like you did when you came into class. And everybody is just there to observe and feel the energy and see the difference. And so they walk in like they did the class. And then we walk back out. And I said, okay, now what you're going to do is you're going to put your shoulders back like in Superman, Superwoman pose. You're going to put your chin up. You're going to smile. And you're going to walk in like you own that place, like you're the CEO of that place, and you're going to put that energy in. And they do it. They walk in just like that. Total difference. They go in and they sit down, and everybody starts like clapping and cheering because it's a very noticeable change. And all you had to do was change your mindset for a little short bit walking in. Now, I know we don't all remember to do that, but you could put a little post-it or something, walk in like you own the place. And it shifts your energy. It makes you big. It makes you empowered. It makes you strong. People respond to that. They will respond differently to what you're putting out. So this is where it comes into mastery too. And you can also just sit in your car and think what you want to channel. Do I want to channel my super Zen side? Do I want to channel my super confident side? Do I want to channel my most loving side? And sit there for 5 or 10 minutes, bringing in that, call it that frequency, that archetype, whatever you want before you walk in the space. So you're preparing yourself. So these are some really pretty easy little tools that I can give you guys to just think about and practice and try it and let me know. Let us know if it works.
You know? I think that's great advice because I don't think we realize too that depending on what you're walking into, whether it's like a Walmart or it's a really crowded mall versus you're walking into a class that, you know, you don't know what to expect. You're walking into a board meeting with all, you know, high-powered leadership people, and you have that intimidation feeling, and you know they're the big bosses, and oh my gosh, what are they going to ask of me? Like what's expected of me? That's really great advice because sometimes those feelings can really debilitate us. And I have somebody that I work with that whenever she has to get up and speak, she literally throws up right before it, no matter who the audience is. Just walking into the energy of people looking at her while she's the only one speaking is just it's overwhelming for her.
It's one of the number one fears that people have is public speaking. So that's a very real thing, and it's uh, it takes practice, and so it definitely takes learning how to train your mind. And that's why athletes, if you ask an elite athlete, are you nervous right before a race? They go, no, I'm excited. They've learned to retrain their mind, same energy, how they perceive it
Oh
too.
yeah.
And
Love that
so,
one.
but I feel for her, I really do. And, you know, we have a very vulnerable little one inside of us that just wants to love and be loved, right? And so the fear of
Mhm.
being judged, being ridiculed, being rejected, and at some point we all have, and so the memory is there. And you know, maybe something happened to her in a classroom setting when she was a little girl that she doesn't even remember too, and it's like that starts to get, who knows what that comes from. And so I feel for her. Like, that's really hard stuff. That's
Yeah.
really, really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to stay that way.
Agree. And I don't
Yeah.
think the picture everybody in their underwear, tool, works for everyone, right? To lighten it up a
Well,
little bit, but
well, what does work is remembering that they're people too, and they're no better than you,
that's right.
right? So what's happening now is power dynamics. Now we're talking about power dynamics. You're perceiving that person to have more power, and in some ways, they might, if they're your boss and they're the one who's in control of your salary and things like that. So that gets, it gets a little bit sticky there too. But we're all human beings. We all go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
We all have bad days. We all get sick. We all feel, they may go home and feel totally insecure about some totally different things, but then they have to go to work and they have to put that on, and that's what they have to do. And so we have to also work on our self-esteem, our self-love, what we believe about ourselves. And so when we stop perceiving ourselves as small, our energy will get bigger, and we'll stop worrying about these things. They won't happen as much. We're still going to be human. We're still going to have days where we feel more nervous than others, especially when something's new. But also training ourselves to be able to handle new experiences. I'm curious what, if Vivian's still here, what she would also want to offer to. So the part of our, call it our ego mind, likes the familiar. It likes the comfortable. It wants to keep us safe. Like Shannon was talking about, the amygdala wants to keep us safe, right? If we stay too safe, we don't grow. We don't get to experience new things. We don't get the fun of life, right? So, but if we try new things, little things on a regular basis, we help to train that part of us that's trying so hard to protect us. It's doing a good job. So we don't want to tell it to F off. We want to say, thank you for trying so hard, but look, we're safe. Let's try something new to eat at this favorite restaurant, or let's go a different route home. Let's drive a different way home. Let's have a different kind of conversation, or just something, little things that are different, that are not quite so overwhelming. And then we gradually learn to be able to tolerate more new stimulus over time. It really does work.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it's one thing, in the case of, presenting.
Sorry.
Yeah, we do. In the case
It's
of preparing for a presentation, or even preparing for mediumship, right? The anxiety that can come over us. So I would say, and I'm going to put mediumship a little bit on the side here. I do a lot of presentations. I do a lot of training, preparing ahead of time, right? You can see why I'm putting mediumship a little bit over here. Preparing ahead of time, knowing the topic that I'm going to talk about, like not waiting to the last minute to make sure I know what I'm going to talk about. I mean, that eases a lot of that fear and anxiety, because I think what ends up kind of kicking in a little bit is the difference between the intuition and the energy, is that fear of being wrong, fear of looking, silly, fear of not getting it right. That's not our intuition. That is fear and the energy that we're building up to have that fear around it. So, it does take a lot, Jennifer, to
It
try to
does.
find a space and mindset to be able to calmly have, even just having a one-on-one conversation with somebody that maybe has a little bit of anxiety around it. You know, for me personally, I am not a very confrontational person. I also try not to be a people pleaser either, because there's a fine line between all of that.
Yeah.
Um, you know, I don't like confrontation. Sometimes it's just easier to be like, yeah, whatever, that's fine. Pick your battles. Kind of that goes into play a little bit as well,
Yeah.
because some things you can fight for that really are important to you. But sometimes the energy is just too intense, and it's just, give it a minute to breathe.
Yeah.
So I know we've
I
kind
love
of been
that.
a little bit all over the place, but I think it kind of comes down to, again, the energy that's around us versus, the intuition. Intuition is going to be, it's not fear-based. That's not our intuition. Intuition is going to be, our gut feelings, our inner knowings, our knowing what feels right, walking into a restaurant, this feels right to sit over here. This feels right. This feels really right to go talk to this person. Like, that's going to be
Yeah.
our intuition that's going to help guide us,
I love that.
which is beautiful. We just have to stop and listen and kind of make the distinction.
Yeah.
Is this my fear over here, or really is this my intuition?
Absolutely. I absolutely love that too. Vivian saying we're taught to balance our energy from a young age. That's a beautiful thing. If families did that with our kids, especially our sensitive kids, that would be so helpful for all of our little empaths. Lynn is saying, what you were saying, Colin Bates, is to fail to prepare is to prepare to fail. That's like sabotage energy for sure.
Yeah.
And the tricky thing is, our fear can sometimes try to disguise itself. It will try to convince us that it is our intuition, it is our knowing. It will do a really good job trying to protect us. And so learning to discern the two is very helpful. This is why we're lucky we're mediums, because the more we work with this energy, we have to learn to understand the energy as we're connecting with spirit and speak the language of spirit. So the more we're in the energy, the better we get, the more attuned we get to being able to get, discern the little differences in there. It's like, are we touching it? Is it touching us? Is that a pull, or is that a push, or is that a stop or a withdrawal? These different kinds of ways too. And so people are doing all kinds of things with energy, but they don't even realize it at the time. And so, we begin to discern the differences, but it just takes a lot of practice and a lot of awareness. Absolutely too.
Real quick,
Yeah,
Jennifer, just to add too, like, intuition
yeah,
is not just it's not just for mediums. It's
yeah,
for all. We all have it. So
absolutely.
it's not just for mediums, and that we tap into it. We may be a little bit more aware of it, but everyone has it. Everyone should be aware of it, because I think it's going to, if you can adapt to listening to those little nudges, I do really feel like we can settle down our nervous system more. I also feel like we can find a little bit more peace and joy, and not all of that anxiety and the fear and all of that. It's kind of like, anxiety is kind of built around, you're thinking about the future. You're thinking about what's going to happen if I do this. And then what if I do this? And this could go wrong. And that could go wrong. That
Mhm.
is a huge, powerful energy that
Mhm.
literally can just knock us off of our feet. So if
Yeah.
we could be aware and get a hold of it, whether it's, breath work, finding, some space, some quiet space to find some calming, to count to 10, and kind of listen without feeling like you got to listen to, 10, 15 things at one time. Just, what are you feeling right now? And
Yeah.
keep yourself
Yeah.
calm.
Get back in the moment.
Yes. Get back in
Where
the
am I? Where am I right now? When am I? And if your mind is, in the future or in another location, that's where you are. When am I? Is it in this moment now too? I also want to suggest to people, if you have the physical capability to move your body, because we are chronically stressed, probably all of us to a certain point. And that's a lot of cortisol. That's a lot of living in a constant state of fight, flight, freeze, fawn. And that's one of the reasons why we have anxiety, is because we're not in a full rest and relaxation response. Our body is in survival mode. And we just get used to it too. So this cortisol is running through our body. It ages us. It causes health issues over time too. But one of the best ways to reduce it is to use it through movement, if you can. I understand you may not be able to, but then there's also going to the doctor and seeing what's going on with your adrenals, with your endocrine system and things like that, so that you're maximizing your health to support stress management. So if we give our bodies the support, our bodies will support us too and help us with our mood. So we want to make sure it's being given all of the support it can be too, so that it can support us, because our mood is also very connected to our physical as well too. So when I point that, you know me, you know me,
and we all doubt our intuition
Yeah.
all the time. I mean, and it's kind of simply based on like our surroundings, like fear of being wrong and overthinking, and also too even seeking validation from others. Like we may not use our own intuition because we want to sound or do something that's expected of us, and we don't want to disappoint someone else too. So that might be situations where we doubt our own oh well, they must be right. This must be the way I need to do this because they say so. Use your intuition. Go with your gut.
Very true.
If something doesn't feel right, it's okay to say no. No, thank you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That's a very true thing. And I'm curious what Vivian means by, if you have a chance to chime in here, Vivian, she teaches people to fail successfully. So if you could add something to that, that would be great too. And, from a feminine perspective and from a male perspective too, it's like, sometimes it's better to err on the side of caution. So if your intuition is saying, maybe I don't feel safe around this person or in this location, it's better to just go with that, even if maybe nothing actually is wrong, but just so that you're not putting your, you know what I mean? So just from a standpoint, because we've had a show on physical safety too, as well too. And it's like, if we don't have good boundaries and we want to be overly trusting of people who may have harmful intent, and then we feel guilty, like saying no, getting in an elevator or something like that with a stranger. And it's like, I would rather you just feel guilty than be hurt. Things like that. So sometimes it's just better give it the benefit of the doubt in your favor, and just do whatever feels safe in that moment. And if that person's offended, let them be. You kept yourself safe too. So that's just another little facet I wanted to add to. Let's see here. Hi, Heidi.
Yeah, healthy boundaries and making sure you feel safe, all of that.
Yeah. Heidi Goal is here. Kim is getting better at saying no, tired of going along things she doesn't want to do. Yeah. Yeah. We all know what you mean, Kim. I know. We all do that. More mindful of triggers and looking into the whys, of evaluate the analyze to heal too. I saw a reel and the gal, what was she saying? Let's see if I can remember. One gal was saying to another gal, like, your desire to, like, I think it was like love and forgive unconditionally is you self-abandoning, and I'm a big person on, forgiveness and unconditional love too, but I totally understand the shadow side of that we can self-abandon ourselves, what we need inside, and have, those parts of us that need protection. And because we were afraid of losing something on the external too. So that's also something to be mindful of, is that you can love unconditionally and forgive and still have boundaries and still protect the little one inside of you too. And that changes your energy. You can do both. But sometimes if you're only doing one, then something gets missing. Someone gets hurt in the process too. So it's like, unconditional love does not mean no boundaries. It does not mean allowing people to walk all over you and hurt you. That's not what that means. It's a way of looking at that person and understanding behaviors versus the actual person behind the behaviors, and understanding we are all complex human beings, but we decide to do what is necessary for us, at that time. So, okay, Vivian, some people never take risks or new opportunities for fear of falling. I teach people how to use the fear of failure and use it to become more confident. I love that. Turning the fear into the confidence. Yep, I love that. Right. Thank you, that's Vivian.
Right. Yes. You. And if you want to try that out to see how it feels, then sign up to be a medium and just say yes to every demonstration and just go for it.
That's what we do. I know it's very hard to say no, but it goes both ways, right, Nancy? Because it's like there's a part of us that doesn't want to say yes because we're scared of doing it. So we have to say yes to get over the fear of doing it, the fear of failure. So, and then we just get so used to saying yes, we just never say no, even when we might just need a break and need to lower our schedule. I saw my August is supposed to be my more relaxing month, not a completely clear schedule, but much more clear than it usually is. And I saw it starting to fill up and I'm like, oh no, here it goes. No, I can't do that. No, I can't do that. I have to change this out. So because if I don't recharge my battery before the fall season, I'll be I won't be any good for any of you. So I got to do it.
That's wonderful to protect your time. And, I think even for me, I probably had some of the same anxieties, speaking in public, even being on a live show. And I had to push myself out of my comfort zone, because if you don't, like Vivian said, like you're not going to grow. You're going to isolate yourself from all the wonderful things that you could learn and do and feel joy in. So I have definitely pushed myself out of my comfort zone, in the last couple of years, more than I have ever in my entire life. And it actually feels kind of good. It's kind of stimulating.
It is. And exactly. And there are parts of us that like a certain amount of intensity, and we can get stressed from boredom or from not doing something too. Yeah. And it's like, now, if we don't take risks, and if we don't take, I'm not talking about safety risks, but I'm talking about, risks of expansion, making your, and yes, you may risk failing, or you may risk judgment and those things like that. But if we don't do it, the universe might just do it for you. And that's usually not so comfortable.
No.
So if you want to do it yourself, little by little, then, it's better than having some big thing.
And that goes with the energy of getting those nudges, getting those little inclinations that something is off, something needs to change, something needs to shift. So Jennifer, I'm a huge believer, like we get these little signals, and finally the universe is just going to say, all right, you're just not listening. We're going to do it for you, because this is where you should be right now, not over here. So,
a nudge turns into a push, turns into a shove, turns into a
kick in the butt.
Pummel. Sorry. It's not always gentle sometimes.
No.
I love you.
It's unsettling.
Ooh, the fairies are around. Excellent, Kim. Thank you. We got some fairy energy. That reminds us, Messages from the Enchanted Realms is a week from tomorrow with Miss Fran and Miss Shannon, and it's Fran's birthday weekend. So we're in celebration of Fairy Queen Fran's birthday. bring cake, everybody, next Saturday.
I love that.
Let's see.
Yay, Fran.
Oh, good job, Evelyn.
Oh, she's so excited.
Excellent.
Going to pursue
Big
something I've wanted
hugs.
for years, a whole new risk, an entirely new reason to have. Oh, I'm so happy for
Let's
you.
go, Evelyn. Let's go. Let's
Good
go,
for
Evelyn.
you.
I got my cheerleader.
If we can ask Evelyn, what held you back before? If you could put a name on what held you back before, other than fear.
That's
but if
a great
the word
question.
to choose, that's okay too. But I'm just curious, what held you back before?
That's a great question. And while she is typing that in, chocolate. We're gonna have to tell Fran. Everybody remembers to bring chocolate. I think this means Heidi's kitty.
Oh,
Cosmo, that's so cute. Oh my God. So Evelyn is going woohoo and super excited for herself too. And we're still waiting for her response. And then let me see. And then Kim is saying, in my mind, I saw what was happening. Okay, they're just chatting with each other. More chocolate.
I don't know now. I
More
want
chocolate.
Cake.
Okay.
That's incredible.
Do you want to read it?
Finances and not finding the person that resonated with me. Okay, I love that. So that is not, so you didn't really necessarily hold yourself back at all. It was just not the right timing. So it unfolded itself in exactly the right way that it was supposed to. So that's beautiful. I love that, Evelyn. Super excited for you. That's wonderful. Okay, things have shifted.
I just want to get some pom-poms and say, let's go. Let's go. Sorry. It's 7:40 on a Friday night. I'm getting a little silly, folks.
I know. You know, so, I want y'all to think about something as we're getting closer to the end here. I want you to think about, can you think of a time when your intuition was trying to guide you, and what happened if you didn't listen or if you did listen? You can think of a time when you were consciously feeling that guide, and either you took it or you didn't take it. What happened?
Yeah. Oh, we've all had those.
Yeah, exactly.
How many times I've felt a little crazy because I had an inkling, and then it actually did go that way. And I knew it. Maybe it was supposed to happen and I still knew and I couldn't have changed it, but who knows if I could have, then there's the wish that you had.
Yeah. Or the regret,
Yeah, exactly. The regret.
You didn't do it.
But then I think we've all had times where we did follow it and we were really happy we did. Like, I'm so glad I listened. Phew. I just dodged a bullet on that one kind of thing, so that's good.
That is true, Evelyn. Hindsight is always 20/20.
Yeah.
And Heidi said, definitely I gave the benefit of the doubt when I already knew. Yep.
That's
Kim
hard.
says, when I didn't listen, I fell flat on my face and bad things happened. Yeah. I'm sorry to hear that.
None of us are alone in that one. Yep. We're all together in that one. Yeah. Yeah.
We're sending you all so much love and really listen to what your gut's telling you. Listen to what your intuition is telling you. And, it may not always lead you to it may not immediately lead you to where you want to be or how you want to feel. But what do they say? The when you're on a road trip, the journey is
it's the journey, not the destination.
Yes, exactly. So there's a reason things play out the way they're supposed to.
Yeah. I also would recommend having internal dialogue with yourself too, because different parts of us want different things and will drive different desires within us that can be conflicting too. So have some team meetings with yourself get everybody on board in the same direction, find a way, get them to compromise so that
Get all your board of directors, as someone said in, I
yeah,
think, your
you
last
gotta
show.
call me because we have many parts of us, and it's like, and they'll be like, I'm your intuition, I'm the one who knows the best. And it's like, so when we develop the self-awareness to be like, oh wait, this, these are different parts of me, what's the best course of action for all of the parts, for the whole of me too, so that we have the best possible result. Because if it's a 15-year-old coming from that maturity level within you, trying to drive the bus may not have as good as a result as a more mature version of you. That's
true.
Although the 15-year-old will
true.
help you have a lot of fun. So if it's fun
Yep.
So
Heidi says regroup. Yep.
I love that.
Call a board meeting.
Call a board meeting, exactly. Morning and night sometimes, right? And Michael Christopher is saying good night. We love you, Michael Christopher. Thank you for being with us. And Evelyn,
I
don't
honestly
always
don't
like what spirit suggests.
Yep. Yeah, I hear you, but I know better than to not be mindful. Yeah, I mean, it's always in our best interest. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, 12. Okay.
Beautiful. I love that. I love that. All right.
Thank you,
Did we do
everyone,
it?
for joining us on our new night, Friday night. We love always having you all here with us, and thank you for engaging in this topic with us tonight. We felt like it was important to talk about. I hope it helped you in some way, and we definitely look forward to seeing you in July on another Friday night.
Yay, that's very exciting. So this was a lot of fun. We all learned a lot together and shared in the love together too. If you wouldn't mind, folks, hearten our little video over on Facebook and a little thumbs up if you're watching it on YouTube. We greatly appreciate it. Nancy and I also both have brand new YouTube channels, Medium Nancy Muratalla, Medium Jennifer Rose. So if you want to send some love and a little subscription our way, we appreciate it too. We're just trying to grow. So thank you for, if you don't mind me asking again. So we appreciate it very much, and we love all of you, and we thank you for your positive energy that you brought in, because there'd be no show without you too. So you brought your energy, and we shared in it all together. So we shared in all of this love together. So woohoo for good energy today. Yes. We did it. I love you, Nancy. Thank you for being my beautiful friend.
Thank you. So, thank you as well. Everyone have a beautiful rest of your evening and a beautiful weekend. And we look forward to seeing you all again very soon.
Perfect. Bye, everybody. Good night.
Good night, everybody. Thank you.